I'm a representative of the EN Global Education Limited, and my name is Fawzia Raim Hassan. I would like to welcome all of you to our live session today, where we will be talking to two very special people. For those of you who are watching our live or hearing of us for the very first time, EN Global is one of the top UK education consultancy centers in Bangladesh. Now, to be more specific, we are an accredited UK student visa service provider company. We mainly provide services and process files for students who want to study or apply for universities in the UK. And we are partnered with some of the top UK universities. Now, today we have in our midst two exceptionally special guests. One being an international admissions officer from EN Global, which is Rafi Paya.
Hello, Jose. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, carry
All
on.
right. Now, we also have us joining our very prominent partner from Greenwich University, our honorable guest, Monet.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, thank you for taking your time out to be with us today. Before we start discussing on the university today, I would like to talk to Rafiba about how In Global is doing and a bit more about In Global.
All right, so Fawzia, first of all, thank you very much for your lovely introduction. And once again, Manate, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to answer your question, I think the most appropriate way to let everyone know about EN Global Education Limited would be we are an accredited UK student visa service company. We mainly work for students who want to pursue their education in the United Kingdom. And we have more than 10 years of experience in the industry, which has helped us, our company, grow and extend our partnership with more than 60 universities from the UK, and Greenwich University being one of our prominent partners for quite a long time. So it's quite an achievement for us. And ever since we started our journey, we have contributed to making so many students' dream come true by securing their places at their desired universities in the United Kingdom. So this is also an achievement for us, and this is something that I personally think everyone should know whenever they hear about us, whenever they come across EN Global Education for the first time. So yeah, this is I think this is all about EN Global.
All right. Now, let me talk a little bit more about Greenwich University before Monet takes over. Now, Greenwich University is one of the top UK universities in London. Now, this university is highly regarded all around the world and for very good reasons. Now, some of the world's most highly regarded research takes place in Greenwich University, which are regularly featured in international rankings. While studying in UK, most students will be able to develop their studies and get more knowledge from a multicultural environment, and especially from Greenwich University, because while pursuing your careers, it will be more lucrative to get your graduation from Greenwich University because of their talented faculty and extremely good resources that you can get. Now, teaching in the UK is extremely designed, like specifically designed for all students, and Greenwich University has been well accounted for their services that they provide for the university and their students. Now, Monet, before all that, I would like to ask you a bit more about the historical background that the university has and the facilities of the location that it provides.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the introduction. That was really lovely.
Thank
So, in terms of the university's location and its history, it's a beautiful building. We have three campuses, obviously. Our main campus is Greenwich, which a lot of people will be very familiar with. Those buildings were designed by that famous architecture, Sir Christopher Wren, and they are beautiful UNESCO World Heritage sites. Right on the bank of the River Thames, with great connects to central London and also the rest of the UK. And then we have two other campuses. So one about 20 minutes away from Greenwich, which is in Eltham, and then one just outside of London, which is in Kent, which is the Medway campus. And we share that campus with another university, which offers our students more chance to network socially, to build networks outside of the university, while still continuing their studies at Greenwich, which is obviously great. So in terms of the university and what we're known for, is you've put really well. We are known for our research. We are known for our great facilities. We have sports facilities, mainly on our Avery Hill campus. We have a huge number of societies run by our Greenwich Students' Union, and we offer fantastic employability and careers support for our students throughout their studies and also upon graduation as well. We are super proud of the fact that diversity and inclusion kind of is our main standpoint with the university, and we work really hard to ensure that we offer our students an enriched student experience by having a diverse classroom. So these are all, our main features of the university and things that we're continually working on.
All right. That is actually amazing because most universities don't usually provide such good facilities for their students. Now, another question that I had for you is the courses that are available from the university and the student faculty ratio. How is
Okay.
that from your university?
So in terms of courses, we have over 300 courses, programs that you can study at undergraduate and postgraduate level. So we have our business faculty, which runs everything from international business
Yeah.
to human resources, marketing, these sort of programs. We have our engineering and science faculty who run, as it says in the title, engineering programs and our science programs. We have School of Science. We have the Faculty of Liberal Arts and Sciences, which run all of our history, politics programs. And then we have our Education, Health and Human Science faculty who run, all of our programs based around sports or psychology and things like that as well. So we have a huge range of programs. Our teaching staff are extremely, well endowed with their own qualifications. They're really, really senior. They're also active researchers in their field. So we make sure that a lot of our lecturers are continually researching and still doing projects to make sure that they continue to stay abreast with what's happening in the world, and that our curriculum reflects what students need. So these are all things that, our faculties are continuing to work on, and what allows us to offer such great programs.
All right. Now we can all understand how diverse the courses are in Greenwich University. So students, you have something for you. Like there is something for everyone in Greenwich University, from business to science to liberal arts. You have something for you. So if you're going to apply to a university which offers a diverse range of courses, Greenwich University is definitely a go-to. Now, another question that I have, and that is a question from most of the students who want to apply to universities abroad, is the entry requirements for both the undergraduate and the postgraduate programs. Monet, could you help me with this question?
Of course. So I will try and keep it as simple as possible because it can get a bit confusing.
Yes, yes.
So for our undergraduate programs from Bangladesh, we consider applicants who have a higher secondary certificate, so their HSC, with a minimum grade of 70%. And then we ask for an IELTS generally across the board of 6.0 with a minimum of 5.5 in each skill. There are some courses that will ask for a 6.5. So at undergraduate level, courses like law, criminology, psychology, and architecture all ask for a 6.5. So do keep that in mind if you're going for those courses. So in terms of postgraduate, we have a two-tier kind of entry system. In the UK, you have, if at undergraduate level, you can achieve a 2-2, which is a lower second class, or a 2-1, which is an upper second class. So different postgraduate programs, depending on what they are, will ask for either a 2-2 or a 2-1. And the equivalent to that for Bangladesh is at 2-2 level, you will need to achieve your 4 years bachelor's with a minimum CGPA of 2.5. And then for 2-1, you will need to achieve a CGPA of 3.25. Across the board, we ask for a 6.5 IELTS with no less than 5.5 in each skill. There are some exceptions, so do check our English language requirement webpage. which will tell you exactly the breakdown of courses and what they ask for. But generally across the board, it's 6.5 with no less than 5.5 in each skill.
All right. Students who are watching, I hope you noted all these down because she crunched the numbers into the
I
most
tried.
shortest summary ever. I hope you all understood because that was the simplest way that it could be put in.
Right.
Now,
It can get a bit confusing
yes,
sometimes.
exactly.
That's why we're here to help everyone. And just before we go on, I think we should watch the video that's made on the
Yes,
university just to give them
yes,
a little bit of
of course.
idea about the university and what's the university is offering to all the students, right? All right, guys. So let's watch the video. Yeah.
My top reason for coming to Greenwich would be that it was the closest and the most raved about university for me.
My top reason for coming to the University of Greenwich is diversity.
There's something for everybody, being a society or a sport.
The vast experience from the teaching staff. They have every sort of specialty going.
And I just felt that if I was going to university that's one of the top for my course, I mean, I'll receive whatever I need there, help, resources, everything. So that's my reason, yeah.
It's a beautiful location to have your graduation ceremony, so you can have that picture on your parents' wall for the rest of your life, and you just feel really proud about it.
Like, I love meeting people, and I get to meet people from everyone, anywhere, and I get to learn their culture and understand their culture.
Well, all my friends come here now. It's an amazing place to be. I recommend it to so many people.
Yeah, I think that was a great video. I must say, I think everyone will have a certain idea as to what the university is offering in general to all their students after watching this video.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I hope you all remember again, Greenwich University is featured in the best 1,000 universities in the world, according to most well-known university and their rankings. So Greenwich University is extremely good when they provide their education and the resources that you can all utilize while you're there. Now, another thing about Greenwich University is I think that stands out the most is their sports facilities, right, Monet? Now, the UK universities don't usually provide extremely good sports facilities. Like for our students who go from the third world countries to UK, most students apply for scholarships and ECAs, which are usually sports related. Now, Greenwich University has extremely good sports facilities and their resources when it comes to athletics. Monique, isn't that right? Could you speak a bit more about their sports facilities?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's one of our standout points, being a university based in London, having the ability to have extensive sports facilities is a great thing for us. I think as you go further outside of London, you might find the space to do it, but for a university in London, it's really difficult to find that space. So yeah, on our Avery Hill campus, which is based about 20 minutes from our Greenwich campus, we have football pitches, we have sports halls, we have a gym. So we do have extensive sports facilities, and our sports societies all train there and have their games there. So we are incredibly proud of it. We've just updated part of our previous £5 million investment was to update our sports pitches to 3G pitches, which means that they're more high tech, they're more interactive. So we're really, really proud of what we can offer, and we're continuing to develop our facilities throughout the next 10 years as well. We have further plans to develop and grow, so it's only going to keep getting better.
Right. Now that is amazing. For a university which grows with the technology around it, it is exceptional. Now, another thing that is a question from most of the students who want to apply abroad, even if it's UK or any other country, is the student visa success rate. Now, Rafi, could you please help me with this question?
All right, so yeah, this is one of the first questions that we get asked whenever someone comes to us for an assessment or if they want to work with us. So yeah, I'm very much happy to let everyone know that over the past 3 years, we've been consistently maintaining 100% visa success rate. Yes, that's really true. So I know it's a quite achievement for us, and we've been able to maintain this, consistency through, having a partnership with our partner British law firm, who are exclusively looking after our visa application department. So whenever an issue arises, or whenever there's a visa rejection, so our British lawyers, partner lawyers, they come forward and they take it to one step further by by requesting for the admin review or all the other reviews, if we have reasons to believe that the visa rejection or refusal was decided upon unreasonable grounds. So by having a partnership with our partner British law firms, we have been able to maintain this consistency, and obviously we have more plans in future to minimize the all the errors that may arise in the on the way, actually.
Okay. Now, Mone, it's something that we all want to understand before applying to university, and that is how the life of the student is going to work around. Because we find ourselves lost and a bit alone when we go to the universities abroad. Now, are there Bengali societies or any society that students can mesh into to feel less lonely or be more active in?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I think there's one thing that we admire about all of our international students is that we understand that they're coming from sometimes for the first time traveling abroad, some for the first time leaving home. So, it's important that they feel supported. So, of course, you have the entire support of all of our student support teams and services when you arrive at Greenwich. But I mean, in terms of building that network, that's really what's going to form your foundation and your support for the entirety of your course and beyond. So in terms of what we have, yeah, we absolutely have cultural societies that have been set up, which students gravitate towards, especially international students that, as I said, are traveling for the first time, where you can go and you can become part of groups and you can go to social events. And they put on social celebrations and things like that. And they meet sometimes weekly or monthly to discuss various things, or whether it would be just at the beginning of the year, just to meet new people and network. So yeah, there's definitely those societies that you can join. And then outside of cultural, if you have anything that you're interested in that's outside of your course, so if you're studying business, for instance, or politics, and you have an interest in sport, well, we have a range of sports societies that you can join, which again will further just enrich your networking experience. We also have, societies that are kind of off the cuff a bit, like the Harry Potter Society, if you have an interest in Harry Potter. So, there's literally a society for everything. And if there isn't, you are more than welcome to create it. The Students' Union give you that support. If you want to become a president of a society or founder and build your own society, that is also something you can do. So the support is absolutely there for you. And in terms of just to cover, support outside of social and outside of the Students' Union, we have amazing academic support. So each student will be given their own personal tutor once they join the university, who is within your program, within your faculty. So they'll be able to be your go-to person if you have any issues or problems with your academics. And then we also have our student wellbeing team, who are there if you have any problems and you want to talk about, if it's mental health, or if you're going through any issues that you need to talk to someone about. Then we have our student services available. So we do have a great support network. And for our international students, we offer the International Student Advice Team, who are there to help with any complex visa or immigration problems that you might be having, and also give you weekly workshops about the student route visa.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Now, another question that I had for you is, what are you offering as courses for work placement, and are there any 2-year courses for postgraduate programs?
Yeah, so we do offer postgraduate programs with industrial placement. So those will usually be business or engineering, these sort of programs. However, they are extremely popular and they close very quickly. We only have we have to be careful with the amount of students that we allow in these programs, because we want most of our students to be able to get a placement, and their placement and the responsibility of getting that placement falls with the student, although you have all of the support and all of this support that you might need from the university. So we definitely do offer 1+1 courses, which are the 2-year courses with industrial placement, and we also offer at undergraduate level sandwich years. So if you want to, do a year of industry in your undergraduate course, you can absolutely do that with most of them. So you'll have support from the Employability and Career Service, who can help you with your CV building, with your application, interview technique. They can help point you in directions of what roles might be good for you. But yeah, essentially that falls with the student. But we are looking to continue to build on our offerings of industrial placement years, because we know how much that is helpful for a student when they become a graduate, and how it makes them more employable.
Okay. Now, how many years of a study gap are accepted for both the undergraduate and the postgraduate programs?
Yeah, so for postgraduate, we don't accept anyone that is exceeding a 4-year study gap from Bangladesh. And then for undergraduate level, we don't accept anyone that's exceeding a 2-year study gap. Unfortunately, that is the rule. So if it is over, we can't accept you, unfortunately.
All right. Okay. Now, another question that is extremely important is, what is the range of tuition fees for both the undergraduate and the postgraduate programs?
Yeah, so it's starting at 15,100, between that and 18,500 for our undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. Obviously, the range depends on the type of course you have and the type of course you're studying. So do go onto our website where the fees are listed for each course and each faculty. So do have a look, but that is the range, 15,100 to 18,500.
Okay. And Rafiba, is there any service charge to register with you or to open a student file for assessment in the EN Global?
All right, so no, we don't have any service charges. We don't have any hidden charges. I know we get this question a lot, that, okay, we're going to come to your office, so do you guys charge anything for assessment? No, we don't have any hidden charges. We don't charge a penny. We are the official partner agent for the university, so our job is completely, absolutely free of cost. So even if you're not working through us, you just want to, come visit us and have your file assessed, you can just feel free to do that. We're not going to charge you a penny. So yeah, we don't have any hidden charges for anyone.
Students, I hope you heard that. EN Global does not charge anything. So if you have any questions regarding on how to apply for UK, or any questions on how you have to make your student file, please contact EN Global, because you will get amazing advice from them, and they'll assess every single file that you have. Now, this is a question for Monet, and a question from every single student who wants to apply in a low budget to any university abroad, and that is the scholarship opportunities that the university offers, and how are they, and what types of scholarship do you have?
Yeah, so at the moment we offer the International Scholarship Award, which is specifically for our international students. And it is offering up to £3,000 at undergraduate level for your first year of study, and up to £1,500 for your first year of study as a postgraduate student. So this is something that you can apply for once you have an offer. The application will become live on the website, and you can go into the website, apply, you will be asked a question, and then you'll need to answer that question to the best of your ability. And then our scholarship panel sit at various increments throughout the year to be able to assess the scholarship entries and then decide how to allocate those. So yeah, definitely apply for the International Scholarship Award, and that is our main offering.
All right. Okay, now could you please tell me a bit about the turnaround time for issuing an offer letter as well as the cost letter?
Yeah, so at the moment, I'm quite hesitant to release turnaround times because I want to manage expectations. But we are experiencing really high volumes of applications, as I think a lot of universities are at the moment. But what I would say is that if you do apply through EN Global, which I absolutely urge you to do, we have direct contact with them on a weekly basis. So they will be able to update you with any updates, and also, work with you in making sure that you know what's happening with your application. So in terms of that, that is the benefit of going through EN, is that you're going to be able to have a point of contact who has direct contact with me, and I can always have a look at updates for applications and try and get those out as quickly as possible. We completely understand that students need their answers to the application quickly, because the process that they have to go through is a lot longer in terms of getting the CAS and getting the visa.
Yeah.
But we do endeavour to have a quick turnaround time as much as possible.
Okay. All right. Now, the university has started conducting a credibility interview.
Yeah.
So could you please tell us a little bit about the interview and how to schedule for the interview, and what questions the students might expect to while going for the interview?
Yeah, so for the interview at the moment, we are basically running some pre-CAS interviews, and these we are basically practice UKVI interviews. So they're based solely on what the UKVI would ask you and the kind of interviews that you would get when you're going for your visa. So these are run by our CAS team and our compliance teams, and you'll be asked, the questions surrounding the detail of your course, the course modules, and why you chose those courses, why you chose specifically to study at Greenwich. And, you can find a guideline of these questions on our website and also on the UKVI website. So you can use those as a guide as to what might come up. But really, it's just to get to know you and to get to know why you chose the UK and why you chose Greenwich as a study option. So yeah, that's how the interviews run. In terms of booking those, if we require a pre-CAS interview from you, you'll get a direct email from our CAS team who will send you a link to book on a slot for an interview. So, don't worry too much about, where do I need to go to book this interview? That will be communicated to you by our CAS team directly to the student.
Okay. Now, so that we go abroad and don't find ourselves lost, we have amenities and dorms that we look for. Now, does the University of Greenwich help students while looking for dorms, or do they provide such amenities and dorms?
Yeah, so we have accommodation available on all 3 of our campuses. So you can also stay on campuses where you're not mainly studying. We connect all 3 of our campuses with our university campus bus. So if you are based at another campus and say you're studying at Greenwich but you're living at Avery Hill, you can get on the free campus bus between Avery Hill and Greenwich and get to your class. So yes, we offer accommodation at all 3. The accommodation starts at around £600 per month, depending on the type of accommodation you have. So if you, kind of go up and get, an ensuite, which is your own bathroom, that might be a bit more expensive, or a studio might be a bit more expensive. So I would urge you to go onto the accommodation websites to see what we have available. You have to pay £400 deposit to secure an accommodation place, which you can only apply for once you have an offer. The accommodation team will generally ask our students their preferences. So they have a priority choice and then a second choice. So our accommodation team will endeavour to give all students their priority choice, but of course, we have limited number of accommodation on each campus, so that can't always happen. However, if you are a first year student with us, you are guaranteed accommodation on one of our campuses if you do apply. So I would urge most of our applicants to and our incoming students to look at accommodation on campus, just because it's a place where you can have everything in one place. When you're coming to a new country, the last thing you want to be worrying about is, am I going to be late for class because I don't know what bus to get, or I'm not living anywhere near any of the people that I'm in class with. But if you're on campus, you're with students, you have laundry, you have a gym, you have 24-hour security. These are all things that as a student incoming, into a new environment, you want to make sure you have ready and easily accessible to you. So I would definitely urge our students and our incoming students to have a look at the university accommodation.
All right.
Students and viewers, yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
Fozia, sorry to cut you off. So,
Yes.
I have one more question about the campuses. So, Greenwich has 3 different campuses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, do the student get to pick any campus they wish to study at, or is it depend? It really depends on the courses they're applying for.
Yeah, so students can't pick the course, the where they study. So each course and each faculty has a base on each campus. So on our main Greenwich campus, that's our business faculty, that's our Faculty of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and our School of Design are all based on Greenwich. And then on our Avery Hill, it's Education, Health and Human Science. And then on Medway, it's Engineering and Science. So it's each faculty has a base, and that's where your lessons will be taught. But in terms of where you can live, that is flexible.
Okay, thank you. And we have a question from one of our viewers. So I think he's asking if Greenwich University accepts YTC for English.
No, we are not accepting that at the moment from Bangladesh.
All right, Kamran, so Greenwich University currently they're not accepting YTC. Just you can go for the IELTS. Yeah.
All right. Is Greenwich University accepting any other English proficiency tests other than IELTS?
So we do. We accept TOEFL or Pearson, Verson, all of these tests we can consider. But I would always strongly recommend to do the IELTS. It is the best indicator for, across the board at all UK universities for English. And I would always direct students to take the IELTS.
All right. Now, since Monet already mentioned buses and Rafika already mentioned 3 campuses, let me give you a basic idea on how big the Greenwich University campus is. So, see, if you imagine a town from Dhaka city, that is similar to how Greenwich University is, because if you wake up and if you think of going to one of the campuses, you might want to take a bus or a cycle to that place to enjoy the scenery, or just to get on class on time, because it is that big and it is that vast that you have to think about the time on how you have to arrive to the campus for your classes. And it is not like any Bangladeshi campus that you might have visited, because we have everything in one place. But for Greenwich University, it has 3 campuses in very long distances, situated in very long distances. And just so that you understand, it is huge, and it is it's a masterpiece to behold, because it is really beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, and another thing that I wanted to ask you is how students would apply for Greenwich University, and when they could apply, and when the deadline is for applying.
So in terms of applying, again, I would say first point of contact should be EN Global in how to apply and what documents you need to apply. We have our applications open on a rolling basis, so they're open all year round. However, courses will close when they reach capacity. So that's how we work, and that's how, you'll know if a course is open to apply or not. And EN Global will have that information regularly updated to them. So do go to them. But in terms of documents, what you would need, just a general overview, is of course your academic documents and transcripts. You'll need your English test if you have it already. You're going to need a personal statement, which is written to explain why you want to study the course, why you want to study at Greenwich, and why you want to study in the UK. And then you're also going to need possibly a CV, specifically for postgraduate study. We do like to see a CV as well. So these are all things kind of generically that you will need in order to apply. But then again, EN Global will assist you and advise you on if you need extra documents and communicate that to you.
All right, thank you very much, Monet, for your lovely words for EN Global Education Limited. And just like you, obviously, will be there to help you. Well, it's basically we have certain rules and regulations that we follow in order to, make sure that the students get the best services possible from EN Global Education Limited, especially because we have highly skilled and incredibly talented student counselors and officers working in our application team and in our compliance department. So we really make sure that that the entire application process is done smoothly without, experiencing any errors. And then we have a dedicated compliance team to assist the students with the precast interview. So it's an advantage for the students as well. And our officers are regularly trained, by the universities, our partner universities, through online and offline sessions. So it's also goes on to show that our officers are really skilled and experienced, in their field. So yeah, this is something that we really make sure how the students get the best services possible from us, from EN Global Education.
Yes, and students who don't really know, EN Global hosts amazing student and university connection fairs that are really amazing, because I attended one which was hosted in Weston, and it was amazing because representatives of universities from UK came, and they were consulting students on how to apply and what are the things that they need to do before going abroad. And that was amazing because it was people were there, so many people were there, and so many representatives were there. I think that was the most educational consultancy fairs that were done in Dhaka City. So keep an eye out for such fairs. And a question for Murne. Could you please explain on how the clubs work in Greenwich University? Because most students have certain interests like musical interests or interest in dramas and other things. So is there any clubs in Greenwich University that students can apply to?
Yeah, so that falls under our societies and our which are come under our students' union. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have cultural societies, we'll have sports societies, but then we'll have societies which have a wide range of different interests that our students can join. So, what will happen is if you become a student and you join us on campus for Welcome Week, there'll be a big fair where all of the societies will have a stand, and you can walk around and talk to the presidents of the societies and sign up and join, decide which ones you want to join, depending on your interests. So that's how it would work. And then we also have a big student union website, which has all of the societies listed, and then you can join online as well if you're not at the Welcome Fair, or if you don't join them at the Welcome Fair. So that's how you would do it. And as I said, if the society doesn't exist, then you are more than welcome to figure out and work on making your own society. So that's how it would work.
Okay. Now, Monet, could you please share your thoughts on EN Global, and could you please briefly explain why and how the students should make their applications through EN Global?
Yeah, so obviously EN Global are one of our great partners that we have with the university. They are extremely well experienced in their field. They know about the university. They know exactly what we ask for. And as I said, we have an open line of communication very, very regularly with EN Global, which works really well in terms of making sure that they're up to date with any updates and then being able to feed that back to the student. And as I said, they're extremely experienced in their field. They know exactly what the student needs in order to submit their application. They know what they need to be able to be considered and hopefully be successful. And they also know the steps which follow, which I think is extremely important as a student who has to apply for a CAS and a visa and then figure out how to arrive in the country. It can get really confusing, and I think if you have someone like EN Global situated and your own counsellor that you can talk to, who can direct you through that process, it will make you feel a lot more at ease and kind of release that stress from you. So I would 100% advise that students go through EN Global. In terms of submitting the application, they will talk you through that. They know exactly what they need to do. They can submit on your behalf through their specific agent portal. So that can all be done if you just go and visit them or get in contact with them.
All right, now to summarize on how to contact Ian Global, you can use the number which is right below here to contact them, or there are emails provided in their Facebook page that you can use to contact them, or you can just visit their office, which is the address is given in their page, to contact them directly and get your consultancy. Now, a question for Murnay, and this is a question that will probably last for the whole year, and that is, how would you describe the current COVID situation in UK, and is their enrollment going to be done physically or online?
So in terms of COVID, that's a very obviously valid question. We don't have any restrictions in the UK anymore. Those have all been lifted. So we expect our students to arrive on campus. We obviously are fully aware that it's continually an ongoing situation and it's changing. I think we've all gotten very used to know, being aware that COVID could impact things. And so as a university, we do keep very hyper aware of this and keep updated on what the government guidelines are, to make sure that we are offering students the safest possible space to learn in. But we also obviously from COVID have learnt that we need to have some remote provision. So if there are difficulties with, COVID, when you are a student here and you need to be able to access classes, that will be able to be decided on between you and your lecturer. However, you need to arrive on campus and register on campus in person for your classes. But as I said, there will be some provisions in some areas, from what we've learned from COVID as a university and how we can better our student experience. But yes, all students will be required to be on campus from September.
All right. Okay. Now, to summarize all of it, Greenwich University is still one of the top universities in UK, and it is one of the top universities in the world ranking as well, in the World 1000 ranking. And they have one of the best sports facilities that there are in UK. And if you want to apply, you have to apply fast because it is still taking in students and the time will run out quickly. So apply when you still can. And if you have any difficulties while applying, and if you have questions while applying, you can directly contact Ian Global for their consultancy and advice to create your student profile, and they can have extremely good resources to help you while doing this and make your job much more easy. So students, get your pencils out and apply for Greenwich University as soon as possible. That is all for today, the questions that I had. If you want to add anything, Rafipa, you can.
All right, so we're at the very end of our live session for today. So just before we go, I have this announcement once again for everyone. We have two more biggest UK education fair coming up, one this month and the other one which will be held in Dhaka next month. So we're 2 days away from our Sylhet event, which is going to take place at Hotel Grand Palace on the 18th of May. So we're 2 days away. So everyone, if you guys haven't registered with us yet, so do register and visit us at the fair and speak. You'll get the opportunity to speak to the university representatives in person. I think it's a great advantage and opportunity for all the students who are looking forward to applying for the UK universities. So that's all for today. And again, Manit, thank you very much for taking your time out. Like always, I know very much looking forward to having more session with you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for putting this on and thank you for having me again.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.